What's up, guys? Sports Snippets, Dennis Sullivan here. How in the world are you doing? If you are enjoying this weekend that's coming to a close, I'm sorry to announce, you're probably, if you're a sports fan, you're checking out some NBA playoff action, as I have done throughout this weekend, Saturday night in particular, where I had the chance to watch Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinal matchup between the Brooklyn Nets and the Milwaukee Bucks. Want to share some insight with you this afternoon. As I put this video together, also the Clippers are getting ready to take on the Dallas Mavericks Game 7 first round. That should be interesting as well. If you do like the content this particular video, go ahead, hit that thumbs up. That would be pretty cool. And you can also subscribe to my channel, Sports Snippets with Dennis Sullivan. So guys, let's get started. By the way, I got a few observations regarding, usually I don't comment on this, but regarding uniforms as well. As I get into my feedback on Game 1, semifinals, Nets, Bucks, this whole idea, and this has been going on for a few years, guys, but forgive me for this. I'm a little bit of an older fan now as far as how long I've been watching the game and my age and all this other stuff. Forgive me for this one, but you could just forget about what's supposed to be a home uniform and what's supposed to be road. That's all been thrown out the window. It's official, like clearly. Like they don't even go by that stuff anymore. Where the home teams are now wearing what you would think are the road uniforms. And it's almost to the point where I think they might have switched it all together. Like completely flip-flopped it, and I'm just sitting here making a video not even aware of it, which I don't think actually happened. But if someone told me that it did, I probably wouldn't be surprised. Also, the other funny thing I'm picking up on is this is something that's pretty interesting in a way, is each team now seems to have one or two players that wear sneakers that have nothing to do with the uniforms that they have on as far as the colors that their team has in their uniform. I mean, it could be a blue and red uniform and the players wearing green sneakers. So it's got to be, I'm sure, some sort of marketing thing or promoting these sneakers, and it will stand out. This is all my guess. I really don't know. Leave in the comments, guys. But you see it all the time now. So these are just a couple of things that I thought were somewhat humorous as I began to take in Game 1, Nets, Bucks. So without further delay, let's get into this, guys. The Bucks, you know what? For a team that just lost Game 1 by 8 points, the Bucks are actually in pretty good shape. And I'm going to spend a lot of this video explaining to you why. And I give the Bucks at least a solid 50% chance, actually, to win this series. The Nets won Game 1 deservedly so because I think they just played a little bit smarter. They were very careful with the ball, with the basketball. They didn't turn it over much, only 8 times. It's not so much that the Bucks were not smart. I think it was more credit to the Nets that they just played very smart basketball in this 8-point, 115-107 victory Saturday night. Now, the big story, of course, James Harden with the hamstring injury in the opening minute of the game. That is a developing story that's going to mean so much to the outcome of this playoff series. Can the Nets win without Harden? Well, they just did Saturday night. Can they win the series? I mean, you could justify that, sure, if they get the kind of performances that they received on Saturday night. It's just that I don't really think without Harden they can beat a team as good as the Bucks. My opinion, of course, in a 7-game series. Kevin Durant really came through, as we've seen him do many times in the postseason. 29 points, 10 rebounds. He had a steal. He had 2 blocks and 3 assists. Kyrie Irving also was tremendous. Almost had a triple-double. 25 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, a steal, and a block. So you look at those two of the big three, Kyrie and Kevin Durant, you're looking at about 54 points. You're looking at, tremendous, tremendous productivity. Now, the big name player that came through for the Nets on Saturday night, Blake Griffin, he was almost, for the most part, grabbing the headlines with his 18 points and monstrous 14 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. So Blake Griffin, and he's fully capable. He can average in the 16 to 19 point range and get them double-figure rebounds. Absolutely, the Nets have a great shot even without Harden in this series. Joe Harris, relatively overlooked in Game 1, he came through for the Nets. 19 points, he added a steal, couple of rebounds, couple of assists. Joe Harris definitely made a difference. Harden only plays a minute, he gets a rebound. So that's the big story, guys. I mean, that's really where this series is going, is the health, the status of James Harden, not just for Game 2, but for the rest of the series. Mike James played very well off the net bench, 12.7 rebounds, 3 assists. Bruce Brown, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, 2 blocks. They got good production from their bench, nothing spectacular. Nicholas Claxton, 4 points, 3 rebounds, an assist, steal, and a block. I mean, you look at the Nets bench. I mean, it's okay. You know, guys. I mean, the net bench is okay. Is it as good as the Bucks? I don't think it is. I think the Bucks have a better bench. I think the Bucks have actually a better team, except when you weigh in how awesome the net top 3 players are, it kind of outweighs everything with Harden, Kyrie, and Kevin Durant. Landry Shamet was quiet, 2 points, 2 assists. Elise Johnson added a rebound. The Nets played a cluster of players for the final minute that did not register any statistics, except for Elise Johnson with that rebound that he grabbed. So Giannis was himself, his regular self, 34 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks. Brooke Lopez played very well, 19 points, 5 rebounds. Drew Holiday played very well, 17 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. But you're not really seeing the Bucks starters they only generated 2 steals between all 5 starters. The Nets did not turn it over, guys. I mean, they only turned it over, as I mentioned, 8 times. That was a big factor in this game. Chris Middleton was tremendous with 13 rebounds. 13 points as well, 4 assists. P.J. Tucker getting the start, 7 points, 4 rebounds, and assists, 2 steals. The Buck bench, which is a pretty good bench, was not that great, though, on Saturday night. Bobby Portis, 6.7 rebounds, steal. Brent Forbes, 5 points, 2 rebounds, an assist. Connaughton, 3 points. Pat Connaughton, 3 points, 4 rebounds, an assist, a steal, a block. Jeff Teague, 2 points, rebound, an assist. And then Thanasis, this is, I believe, Giannis's brother, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I might be mistaken there. He would register a point, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. So the top 2 factors in this Game 1, guys, were the turnover comparison. As mentioned, Brooklyn with only 8 turnovers, Milwaukee 14, which isn't a tremendous amount. But at the same time, 14, I mean, there's a 6 turnover differential right there. Field goal percentage overall was relatively the same. You're looking at about 44.6 for Milwaukee, Brooklyn 46.9, just about 47%. Both are okay in that department. Where it really, and then Milwaukee out-rebounded them, 58-47. I'm telling you guys, the Bucks have a good shot in this series, but where it really did in the Bucks Saturday night, they could not buy a 3-pointer. Horrific 3-point shooting for the Milwaukee Bucks, 6 for 30. You could point to that as the difference right there, 20%. Brooklyn converts 15 of 40, which isn't bad, 37.5%. Big difference right there, guys. Milwaukee, as mentioned, out-rebounds them by 11. They don't do great from the free throw line, but, you know, with Giannis, you're going to have that issue sometimes. But still, they out-free throw attempted the Nets by 10. They would go 11 for 19, so 19 attempts. Brooklyn only had 9 attempts, but they converted 8, so which is pretty good. So Bucks got some things going for them, which is good as they go into Game 2. I like the Bucks' chances in Game 2. Brooklyn, though, plays very clean Game 1, though, so we got to give them credit. We can't really say, well, the Nets got a few step-up performances, and Blake Griffin, which was a huge factor. But I think the Nets were just very, very, very... They were aggressive while being careful, and there's a lot to be said for that. They played very aggressively, but they were also very, very cautious and careful with each possession. Steve Nash gets a lot of credit for that as coach of the Brooklyn Nets. So, guys, what uniforms they're going to be wearing in Game 2, I have no idea. Maybe they'll actually go to like home and road uniforms. Isn't that interesting? Because I was watching it last night. I'm like, okay, here's one more example. There's no more uniform rules, I guess, in the NBA. That's just my guess. I don't know. Leave me your comments. Let me know what you think. Game 2 is Monday evening. That should be very interesting. Enjoy Clippers Mavs, which is actually getting ready to start as I make this video. We will talk again soon. Bye for now.